Okay. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to slash living my yoga. And your power is not in your Punani, it is in your Prana, day 13. Okay, guys, today's topic is you are worthy of a breakdown in order to have a breakthrough. I will repeat. You are worthy of a breakdown in order to have a breakthrough. So this came to me recently, actually. Just the other day, I had a client here and I was stretching her, and she really enjoyed the assisted stretch session. And she was telling me how she felt so at peace here. And she says that she felt more at peace here in my home than she feels when she's at her home. And she said her home is her dream home. And she asked if I would come over and take a look at her place and see if there was something that I could do to help. During stretching her, obviously there were some things that I discovered and some things that I felt within her. And one of the things that came to me even before I visited the home was she needed more pictures up of her kids. Well, it's actually like a piecemeal. For many years, I stayed here. This is my brother's home. And for many years, I stayed here with no furniture. It was just bare, like nothing was here. And when I initially moved here, my brother wanted to furnish this place with rooms to go. He wanted this place to be decked out, really nice. And I actually, a part of me wanted that. You want it to be done. You want to be in a place that, you know, looks like what people would want it to look like if it came in. However, at the time, I had just come back from my year of silence in Haiti. And there was so much turmoil inside of me. Like I discovered so many things during my year of silence that talking was never my problem. Even though I do talk a lot, talking was not my problem. My problem was intent. My intentions needed to be pure so that what came out of my mouth was also pure. So I discovered that, and then there was so many things going on with myself and my daughter, and there was like a period of time that I thought I would have to raise her again, which was a challenging thought. One, because it couldn't be done; she was a grown woman, and two, because I actually thought I did a pretty good job of raising her. Yet we were experiencing so much upheaval that I felt like I got to do this again. I got to get it better. What can I do now? I need to fix this. Let me undo that. I was in the middle of my own breakdown. And in many ways, I did. In many ways, I shut down. So, this home that was barren, that had nothing in it, was a beautiful picture of how I felt inside. And I rejected having furniture just put in because I enjoyed how I had moved into a beautiful home, yet had nothing in it. And I had to become something in order to make my home something. And I enjoyed the process of piece by piece creating this space with every bit of experience that I was having and that I would have. And that was one of the things I told my brother. I was like, a house becomes a home not by just putting matching furniture and curtains and great pictures up on the wall that you purchase. And at the time he wanted to do rooms to go, so everything already made, and I knew it would look fabulous. And at the time I was sleeping on an air mattress, yet I was also sleeping on the floor part of the time because the air mattress ended up having a hole like most air mattresses do. And I ended up sleeping on the floor. And that was a hard time, especially when I needed to use the restroom to lift my whole body off the floor. I realized I was anemic. I've been anemic my whole life, yet I was really not eating healthy. Like I was eating food, but not iron rich food. And I realized that my iron levels were going so down. So getting myself off the floor was a lot of work. And I rejected the option of having this home completely furnished in the most beautiful way because I wanted to take my time and find my value and then piece by piece create this home the way I needed it to be. And now it's growing into that. And there's never a place that it's like set, like I'm here, it's beautiful, everything is done, I'm happy. No, piece by piece, this place is created. And it's created through experiences, like every piece of art that's here, and like the things that my mom made, the flowers she purchased, the chair that we got from a friend, the couch. I remember my godson, shout out to Johnny. I remember he was going through some challenges at work and he wanted me to buy furniture. And I was like, he called and was telling me about the challenges. And I was like, he works at a furniture store. I said, what can I do? He's like, buy furniture? And I was like, okay. At the time, there was no furniture in here. In fact, when the furniture came in, I was a little bit uneasy because it had quickly gone from a house without furniture to a house with furniture. I had purchased a couple of beds the years before from him, yet there were just pieces of things everywhere. And now there were just like a whole furniture set. And it took me a while to get used to it. And the moving people, the furniture people had to, when they came back the second time to deliver the second items, I remember understanding more about how this furnitured place needed to look. And I feel the story in it. And it feels good because I know I was helping my godson out. And he was also helping me out. So I stretched her, I stretched this client, and it was a beautiful time. We had the fireplace on. I had another friend here, the one that introduced us, and she, like I said, afterwards she was like, "I feel so at peace here." She's like, "I can fall asleep here." In fact, she was falling asleep during the session, and she was also very emotional. She said, "I could fall asleep here, but in my dream home, the home that I love." And like literally, it's my dream home. She says, "I don't feel at home. I don't feel," I think she used the word safe. She doesn't feel at peace. And she asked me if I would come over if I could help. And I said, "Of course. Yes, I could help." I knew I could help because I'm a master at feng shui. I love feng shui. I love placing things. I love putting things in a beautiful way. I think this is something why I love yoga because a vinyasa flow. Vinyasa means to place in a special way. So that's why I have my company, Yit Thoughts. Yoga is the dance of the soul because I like to place the body in special ways. And I think that's also why I enjoy form when it comes to fitness. Like it's not just about doing something, it's about how it looks when you do it, because this will determine if you'll be able to do it again, do it again, do it again. So form is always more important than function. So I did come to see her home. She had a gift for me. She asked me to come over the very next day. She had a couple of gifts, and it was really sweet. And I came to see her home, and it was just as I expected. She hadn't said what her home would look like, yet I always can tell people's homes by their personalities. In fact, I didn't know this wasn't a normal thing. Like, I'm not sure why I didn't become an interior designer or a marketer because, or even a realtor, not to say I can't still do all of those things. Yet, ever since I was a child, I envisioned people's homes. Like, if I were to meet someone based on their personality, I can envision exactly how their home look. I thought this was quite normal until I realized other people weren't doing it. Yet the fascinating part, the more interesting part is when I would actually visit their home, it was like I was already there. Because once I walked into their home, everything that I envisioned was in place. And I'm not talking about I knew exactly what furniture or where the paintings would be or the bedrooms would be. I'm talking about the aura of the home. I had a great understanding of aura, especially when it comes to space. So when I came to see her home, it was exactly as I thought it would be: impeccable, clean. Furniture, maybe it was Rooms to Go, maybe it was Costco's. She mentioned Costco's a lot to me. She had plants and she had even Buddha things. She had it all. It was nice. I was like, this is really pretty. I was like, it was very clean, very organized, very color coordinated, you know? And just like I thought I would have to recommend, I said, you need pictures. You need pictures of your kids. And it should feel playful, I told her. It should be like against all this beautiful organization and well thought out planning and picture frames in the right place of random items and color coded niceness. You should have pictures of your kids cut out, like small little ones, big ones, different size one, but cut out in the shape of what they were doing. So if they were crawling, in the shape of their crawling, if they were dancing, if they were running track, whatever it is, and it should actually lead into something, like lead up to the light bulb or lead up to the light socket or lead past the stairs. It should actually walk you through your home, and it should journey with you. And she said to me that she wasn't on good terms with her children. And she even said that she wasn't a good mother. And she had put her kids through some misery, some challenges. And I felt that because I understood it. I had been through it. I understood it in a very visceral way, of feeling that, you know how we in this generation, we we want to do better than our parents. Like we've totally isolated our kids because we want to give them the best. And we don't know what that is, but we're completely sure it's opposite of what our parents did. So we don't want to spank them. We don't want to have them around other family and cousins and someone in the family that could possibly give them trauma that could lead them in the wrong direction growing up. We don't know exactly what sport, like we have to pick the right sports. They can't just, hey mom, I like this, hey dad, I like that. You know, we want to give them the one sport that they're going to pick for their whole life. They can't just play around with modeling. And like I did modeling, I did track and field, I did Girl Scouts. I was in all sorts of, I was in basketball, I was in cheerleading. I did whatever I wanted. I was a child. Whatever I came home and had the permission slip for, I did. But nowadays, we have to be professional athletes while being professional students and being professional children. So if your child has the height and shows a love of basketball, he's in it or she's in it for life. And we don't want to keep, if he's in ballet or in yoga or something else, it's only to get them more proficient at playing basketball. It's not for fun, it's for function. So I felt what she was saying. I understood it. And she said she wasn't in alignment with her children. And she was in a lot of pain. And I told her that you are in alignment with your children. Obviously, you're in alignment with your children because I said, if you were not in alignment with your children, this would mean nothing to you. Them not liking you, them being upset, them being vulgar, and you guys going at it, it would mean nothing to you. In fact, you wouldn't even conduct, like, you know how they say in a relationship, like when your partner doesn't fight with you, know that it's over. Like when they're done arguing and you're not even worth their time, know that that relationship is pretty much over. Because if you're not struggling to make things better, or if that means nothing to you anymore, you just don't care, then you probably don't care. You don't care enough to actually even think about them anymore. So I told her, yes, you are definitely in alignment, because there are millions, billions of people on this earth, most of which you are not thinking about, you're not concerned with, they're not on your mind, they're not on your wavelength, you are not in alignment with them. And you are not concerned. And that's how you know you're not in alignment. Don't always think about alignment as something completely lining up. It's something that people do in yoga class too. When they think about balance poses, they think, okay, I'm going to get in this balance pose. I'm sitting, I'm standing, I'm holding one leg, and I'm not moving. Now I am a good balancer. This is what proves I balance well, that I accomplish this pose well. But that is not balance. Balance is that constant dance between imbalance and balance and finding that good middle. And that's how relationships are. It's never stagnant. Like right now, my daughter and I are doing pretty good. She's actually like my life coach. Yet months ago, we hadn't spoken. We hadn't spoken for months. We were on a sabbatical. And then since Haitian culture, they say se timun kimashi sugamun, which means it is children that walk towards, that ask the permission of, that come to an adult. I let her be. Did I suffer? Yes. Did it hurt? Of course. However, I had to give her that space because I had to own my own space. Because if I don't have something, if my cup is not full, I can't fill hers. I can't give to her. So I told her she was in alignment with her kids, and I let her know what I'm letting you know. I told her that have those pictures up, see them. Don't let anyone take those memories away from you. I said, I told her, I'm pretty sure you have beautiful pictures of great times that you've had with your kids. And she's like, yeah, I do. And I said, those moments were real and they're sincere. Don't let anyone, not even your kids, take that away from you. It actually did happen. It was a real thing. It was a real thing. Like the body's keeping score, this psychosomatic body, the mind is keeping score, the memory is there. You have created the equity to be okay with that investment, even if you know the after effects of that picture. Maybe maybe you have a picture of your child laughing, but you know after that picture they fell down, or their hand got caught into a door, or they got into an accident. Yeah, all of that happens, but that's not because of you. This is the cycle of life. Winter is not a failing system. When we enter winter right now, like most of us are in, winter is not a problem. Winter is a part of the cycle of life. This is actually how things are supposed to happen. So things come to go. This doesn't mean something broke. Things rise to fall. Here we have a beautiful mountain, even though some people call it a fake mountain, Stone Mountain. You go high up on Stone Mountain and then you're going to have to come back down. That doesn't mean something went wrong. That doesn't mean you went the wrong way. That is just how mountains go. You would not want to go all the way up all the time. You would not want to come all the way down all the time. You would not want to be in the valleys. You want the diversity. You want the change. So I let her know that she was strong enough, she was worthy enough to have a breakdown in order to have a breakthrough. And I'm letting you know that today. I told her, you are worthy enough to have a breakdown in order to have a breakthrough. And I think this is why she didn't want the pictures up. Because seeing those pictures, knowing the good times, knowing the journey, because God help me, being a parent, it's like, it's not, being a parent isn't the problem. We suffer our minds. There are times that we don't have a job, we suffer. You're like, oh God, I wish I had a job. And then when we get a job, we suffer again. We say we're single. I don't have a man. I don't have a woman. I wish I had this. This would be better. We suffer because we don't have a partner. And then as soon as we get a partner, oh my God, he gets on my damn nerves. What the hell am I gonna do? I need to get away from. I need some space. We suffer. We're not married. We suffer. Man, if I wish I had a marriage, I wish, if I had, I would have this, I'd have respect. People would look at me different. I would have someone I could come home to. And then when we get married, all hell breaks loose. We don't have children, can't have children. Something happened to our children, we suffer. But then when we have children, oh my God, these children are right driving me up the wall. We're not happy. So, do you see that it is not the situation that is making you sad or unhappy? You suffer your mind. You have made your mind your enemy. This has nothing to do about any one situation. So, as I told her, you are worthy enough to have a breakdown in order to have a breakthrough. Sometimes you have to be broken down to the bare bones. I remember going through that time with my daughter after my year of silence, because this was my first time leaving her for a full year and she had started college, yet it was during COVID, so college wasn't college. So she was suffering. Like, I really wish I would have brought her with me. Yet I understand now that would not have been possible. Like what I experienced during my year of silence in Haiti, some of which nobody knows. And I wouldn't have wanted my daughter to be there with me. So I understand that everything happened for the reason it needed to happen. And that time, I literally had to be broken down. I remember being on the phone with my friend and I had to, like, gasping for air because I couldn't breathe. Like, I felt like there was so much that was taken from me. Like, I had gone through this transformative experience and now I was coming back to a war zone. Kind of ironic. I left Haiti and now I felt like I was in a war zone in the US. I had to have a breakdown in order to have a breakthrough. And I'm not saying it's pretty, I'm not saying it's over, and I'm not saying it happens in a way that feels uniform, like that lady's home. That place was completely uniform, completely tight and right. And I said, you're going to have to put some pictures up. You're going to have to put some pictures up of your kids in a playful manner. And this will be the just the pose position of all this structure, because this structure is a lie. I told her this structure, I said, you are hiding behind structure and discipline. This is not real. You are not seeing things as they are. And I said, when you look at these pictures, you might cry, you might feel emotional. That is that anger, that is that shame, upsetness building up that you have to let go of. You have to let it move through your body. You are worthy enough in order to have a breakdown, in order to have a breakthrough, so God can pull you through. And when I say worthy enough, what I mean by that is if you're not willing to have a breakdown, that means you just stop. You just stop. You just die right here. You know, like some of the information I just shared with you, I learned from Sadhguru. And one of the other things he mentions when he mentions his foundation, Isha Kriya, he says that people come there and they complain about the other volunteers. And they're like, oh my God, I can't work with this person. This person's unbearable, this and that. It was like, if you want perfect people, heaven. And you must go right now. Because the thing is, nobody wants to go to heaven. In order to get there, you have to die. Want to have a break, don't want to be broken in the land. In order to plant seeds and plant new seeds, you got to get your hands dirty. You got to work the land. You got to dig through this Atlanta clay to get to the soil. You have to break earth. You have to unearth yourself. So I shared that with her and I asked, I said, would you like me to be your yoga therapist? And she said, yes, I would like that. You know, we started off as having a stretch session, and a stretch session is a wonderful release. Like I said, she had beautiful releases emotionally. She was crying. It was a very moving experience. It was very intuitive, something I love to do, something I do without needing any energy to do it because it's not something of me. It's beyond me, which I love. It's similar to yoga because I'm moving bodies. And this is my job. I move bodies. It's a powerful system. Like this vehicle that we're all traveling with, I get to be a part of moving bodies. And when you move bodies, you move minds. And I love that. So I am saying to you today, as I said to her, you are worthy. And worthy means God has sees you worthy to go through this. You actually have, and I know you're thinking, why not use the word strong? I'm not talking about some things don't take strength. You gotta just let go. You don't strength means this is of you. Like, okay, this is strong, I can do this. Worthy means you don't know what it looks like. Like Jesus was worthy enough to be chosen to die on the cross. That type of worthy. That type of worthy I'm talking about. And I'm not making this biblical, but once again, I grew up in the church. I grew up Catholic. So we're not here to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We're not here to take the Bible at anything because as easy as I can bring the Bible, I can bring Buddhism, I could bring all sorts of practices and yoga included. It's all there. They're all speaking of the same thing, this non-attachment to form. You must give birth to the unmanifested. And when I say you're worthy enough for a breakdown, we don't allow breakdowns to happen because we're not sure what's going to happen. It's like depression. You don't know how deep that hole goes. So I understand your unwillingness to allow yourself to go there. Yet you have to allow this, you have to hit rock bottom in order for you to realize that you were going to be okay anyways. Sometimes when you keep fidgeting at rock bottom, it's like, you know, getting your blood drawn. Like you're like, okay, just draw the blood. Just draw it. You're drawing blood. You're not killing me. When you realize you can actually go through your fears, you realize how fearless you are. So that's why I say to you today again, you are worthy enough to have a breakdown in order to have a breakthrough so that God can pull you through. So on day 13 of Your Power is Not in Your Punani, it is in your Prana. Let's get to our breathing practice. So, wherever you are right now, kind of shuffle around a little bit, find your zen, and then close your eyes. Sit here for a moment and find your heartbeat. Relax your thoughts. From here, we're going to go into a Ujjayi breathing, which is great for focus and centering your mind. You're going to breathe in normally, but Ujjayi means victorious breath. That's what happens when you have a breakdown, when you know that you're worthy of a breakdown in order to have a breakthrough, you become victorious. So you're going to inhale through your nose. And then when you exhale, you're going to do a breath restriction through your throat, sort of like something is caught up in your throat. So it's sort of like a Dark Vader. And then we're going to do that both coming and going. But for now, we're just going to do it as we exhale because it takes a little bit of practice. Yet it feels super juicy. It's rather romantic. And once again, yoga is romantic because this is where you fall in love with yourself. There can be no more romantic practice than yoga. You are literally falling in love with yourself. Okay. I was thinking about another friend where she's falling in love, but she doesn't want to tell the person. And I said, there's not really a fear in it. I said, even if the person doesn't reciprocate, you leave with your love. They don't take it. You leave with it. It's still yours. And that's why yoga is so powerful because you are the beneficiary of this practice. You do it for you. It's the epitome of FUBU. For you by you. This is FUBU. For you by you. Okay. Back to what we're doing. So we are inhaling, and on the exhale, you restrict the breath. It's sort of like something's caught in your throat. Super beautiful and great if you're dealing with thyroid issues. So exhale everything out. Then inhale. Hold for a moment. Then exhale with the restriction. Let it all go. Inhale through the nose, mouth closed. Exhale with restriction. Inhale. Keep going at your own pace. Four more times. And relax. Go back to natural breath, bear breathing. Chin slightly tucked to chest. Feel how your body is vibrating and pulsating. This is absolutely the most important part when it comes to pranayama practice, breath work, is this moment of stillness that you take afterwards. So feel that energy. Relax your facial muscles, relax your facial muscles, and just stay in the moment. And whatever sounds you hear in my background or in your background, stay within the sensations of your body and within your breath. And release. Ah, that felt so good. So good. Okay, that felt so good. There has to be no better high than pranayama practice. I don't know what everybody else is doing. I don't know where you guys are getting your highs from, if it's cigarette or weed or alcohol or I don't know. It's between this and a good smoothie for me because yeah, pranayama practice is the bomb. This is the ultimate edible. This is breathable. This is breathable fabric. All right, bring your hands to the side of the body. Inhale your arms up and exhale down. Let's do that again. Inhale up and exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. And then slowly and surely come down to your heart chakra. Remember to always leave your heart open because when you close your heart, you're the only one that suffers. Namaste, guys. Whew, we did it. I can't believe we did it again. I never know if I'm gonna do it, but it's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It is done. All right.